Okay, I'm going to record this. All right, welcome to tonight's call. Turn on the music. Stop this. All right, cool. All right, I got the recording on. Hi, guys. So welcome to tonight's call. It is March 27th, 2018, and this is the Team Boom call, and I'm super excited for our speaker tonight. And I'm going to start this off with some recognition. So we have, this is Success Club 10. We have Maggie Shewick, Madeline Fenton, Lindsay Redding, Leah Hall, and this might have just been, I know this hasn't been totally updated. This was actually probably like 5 days ago. So if you've gotten or helped other people, you might have it updated for yourself. Kylie Wynn, Erin Camplin, Danielle Hills, Ashley Brown, Anne-Marie Vitchers, Allie Penchis, Taylor Menkenzie. With 12 Success Club points, we have Olivia Brackett, Megan Sorton, Marie Sardelli, Leah Tao, Lauren Lettieri, Kristen Moss, Chris Bachlet, Brooke Reed, Anastasia Redding, Amy Reelman, Alyssa Mundry, Carolyn Nathan with 14. This is Success Club 14. Michelle Humrich, Mackenzie Chase, Jessica Halfpop with 16. We have Beth McDonald with 18 Success Club points. We have Caitlin Welsh, Bailey Kai, Celine Barcardi with 20. With 24 Success Club points, we have Jen Sanson, Cassandra with 24. Casey Bachlet, Christina Tropino with 28. Michaela Van Dolces, if I said that wrong, sorry. 32. Sydney Thompson with 40 Success Club points. Kate Morgan with 62 Success Club points. And Ashley Feld Dyson with 76. And if you are new or this is your first call, Success Club points are basically you get 2 points for every life that you have changed with a challenge pack. So that's simply like the all access with your Shakeology and the program for the year. And that's just by helping somebody get started new for the month. So huge shout out. And we still have a couple of days left. And this is definitely the time to be talking to people before they go into the holidays. Because usually after Easter and things, people are ready to get started, and we have the new month coming up in April. So I know we were talking about on our team call, the Diamond Call before this, lots of people are starting brand new, fresh challenge groups in April, and with like Spring to Fitness and things like that. So congratulations, guys! Awesome job ending March. And so we have somebody on the team call. She is a brand new coach. I am super excited for her to be on this call with us. I reached out to her probably a couple weeks ago, and I've been following her on Instagram, and she is doing an amazing job with sharing her story. She is a 5th grade teacher. So this is her first year in 5th grade teaching full-time. She's a military wife, so she'll share with you guys a little bit about that. She is a brand new Diamond coach. She has Success Club 40, so she's helped at least 20 people in the month of January and February in her first 2 months of starting as a coach, which is really like unbelievable. And she's been a coach since January. So I am so excited. So she's going to share this a little bit about her story. If you could kind of touch on how you met your coach, that's kind of a cool story. And then she's going to share with us her 5 skills that we always talk about, Pat's talked about this a lot. We talked about this at a retreat, about sharing your story, about connecting and finding new people, about inviting people to your challenge groups, giving that great experience, and then asking them to be a coach. So she's going to touch on that as well. So kick it off.
All right. Thank you so much. So my name is Sydney, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. So as Annie was saying, I am a first-year teacher, and I am a military wife, and I hate branding myself as a military wife because it just has a lot of negative associations with being a military wife. But I really do think that that's an important part of my journey because when I was 17, I actually got married and I moved across the country. I didn't know anybody. I honestly didn't even know how to cook, didn't know how to do absolutely anything. And I was by myself. And So I put a lot into teaching because that's something that I'm super passionate about. But quickly I have found out that teaching is not something that, like, I love teaching, but it's not for me. I'm giving all of myself to my students, and it's just not for me. And with my husband's job, it's just so hard. Like, it's so hard to make friends. It's so hard to get comfortable doing anything. I can't get comfortable with my job because who knows where I'm going to be in the next couple months. I feel like I'm just never at that comfortable place in my life because I never know what's going to happen with my husband's job or where he's going to be. So I've never really had anything for myself. I never really had any hobbies or anything to do. And that's hard when you don't have a bunch of friends because they keep leaving you all the time. So my husband deployed. He deployed in October. So I had been a teacher for 1 month and my husband deployed. My partner teacher quit in the middle of the school year, and my best friend had just moved away, and I felt like everything was just terrible. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. 2 weeks, my husband found out he was deploying and he was gone. So during that time, I really just didn't do anything for a while. I would just go to school, I would teach, I would put so much time into my teaching, and then I would come home, and I wasn't unhappy. I would say that I was like fine, like with my husband being gone, but I wasn't myself. Like, I'm this like very like loud, crazy, usually positive person. And Kate, my coach, she was the only one who probably followed me on Instagram at that time. And if you follow me now, I feel like I'm pretty positive. Like, I am a little bit of a negative person, but at that time I was so like mean. Everything that I would say was just like negative, and I was like attracting those negative people, and we would just like talk about negative things, like I hate so and so, I hate this, I hate that. Everything was just so negative, and that's just not who I am. So I started watching Kate's stories. To be honest, I really could care less about her working out, but I liked her as a person, so I kept watching her stories. And
where did you find her? Like, did you connect with her through a hashtag or?
Well, I have a teacher Instagram account. Like, that's like what it started as. And Kate used to have a teacher Instagram account too. So I think we just like started following each other. I think we actually like texted a couple times about random stuff going on, but we were just kind of like acquaintances on Instagram. So she messaged me and was like, hey, are you like interested in signing up? And I like didn't want to be mean to her because I liked her. So I was like, well, my mom's actually already a Beachbody coach, which is true, but my mom is like a discount coach. And I was just like, I didn't want to say no. I was like, oh yeah, like my mom's already a coach. And my mom had actually mentioned like, she was like, I'm doing this 80-day program. She mentioned that to me like at the end of December. And I was like, oh, cool, like good for you. And it was like 2 a.m. and I woke up and I was like, God, I bet Kate's doing that program. And I was like, let me like just send her a message. And I was like, hey, are you doing that 80-day thing? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so I know that like I'm using my mom's account and I'm not gonna buy this, but like, can I join? And she said yes. She was like, just don't tell anybody else that I'm letting you into my challenge group. So she let me join her 80-day obsession like challenge thing. And I did like 3 days of a little obsessed, and I was like, okay, like I'm totally committed. Like, I will buy the challenge pack from you. And I mentioned that I wanted to be a coach, but I was super nervous because I had this teacher Instagram account. And I mean, I had a couple thousand followers at that point. And I'll touch on like growing the following in just a little bit. But I had people that I talk to all the time. Like, I have a really good relationship with my followers. Like, people engage with me and watch me, and I talk to them and know them, and it feels like we're all friends. And I was so nervous about starting this coaching thing and pissing all of those people off, like being like, oh, like look at her, she just like jumped on that bandwagon and now she's super annoying, she wants us to buy this stuff. And I was so afraid that I was gonna like ruin this community that I had built on my Instagram. But I decided to do it anyways because I was making Kate a lot of money, and I was like, well, I should probably at least just try. And I told myself, I told Kate too, I will never post my workouts. I said I will never invite anybody, and I said I will never drink Shakeology.
So what was like the aha moment when you woke up at like 2 a.m. and you were like, I bet Kate's doing this? Like, what made you have that kind of shift into like wanting to try one of these programs?
I don't really know. Like, I don't know if there was really a moment that I was like, God, my life sucks. And I think it was just like an accumulation. Like, I was so bored. I had nothing that I was doing for myself. And I had already felt like I was burnt out with teaching in only a couple months. And I'm like, crap, like I just can't keep living like this. Like, guys, I was literally eating like Pop-Tarts for breakfast and like eating cookies for lunch, and it was just such a bad like cycle that I had gotten into. But I figured that she was.
Did you see her keep showing up?
Yeah, like she was always posting her workout stuff, and she like looked like she was having fun. So I was like, and she talked about like these challenge groups that she had. So I was like, well, there's a bunch of other people doing it too. So, you know, we could all do this together. And so I'm super grateful that she let me in without me even paying for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just using my mom's account and going under her. But I think that really just shows us that like it's focusing on the people, not like, oh, I want to sell you this thing right now.
On that point. Totally.
Right, exactly. And I'm sure that she probably knew that I was going to get addicted anyways and want to do it. So thank you, Kate.
We got her.
So, talking about Instagram, I think it's very important to share your story, obviously. I said I would never do those things, but if you look at my Instagram right now, I do those things every single day. And I don't like do it forcing. Like, I don't wake up and think, I'm going to post my workouts today, I'm going to post my shake, I'm going to post this. It's just like become a natural thing that I'm sharing each and every day. And you have to balance your post. You don't want to just come on to your Instagram every single day and only talk about health and fitness, because chances are everybody who's watching you and your future challengers right now, they might not care about your health and fitness. They might just be watching because they like you as a person. For example, Kate, I just watched it because I liked her as a person. So I sat there and I watched her work out. But if she would have just been like, oh my gosh, look at this shake, look at this energize, look at the workout, look at how much weight I'm losing, I probably would have quit watching after a while. So you really have to balance yourself out and like share about everything. I don't know. I just want to, like, I'm not bragging on myself, but just go watch my Instagram stories sometime, because people tell me that they're funny and that they're interesting. And I don't know why, but I'm just sharing my life. Like, I share my teaching. I share my husband. I share my workouts. I do post about it, but it's because I'm obsessed with it. It's not because I'm like, oh gosh, I want everybody to watch me work out today and see how interesting it is. It's just because I love doing it and it's part of my life. So that's why I share that. For your posting, a really good tip that I heard from another coach was when you look at your Instagram. So I challenge you to all go and open up your Instagram right now, because I'm going to do it too. And look at your last 5 posts and ask yourself, does that show the person who's looking at your account who you are? Or is it just your health and fitness? Is it just your teaching? Is it just your job? Is it just a selfie? Or is it a mixture of all those different things? So if I look at mine right now, okay, I see myself working out. I see myself in my classroom. I see myself at Old Navy, which I love. And I see a picture of my husband. So it's a mixture. You can't post the same stuff every single day. And just a side tip, those super long captions that people post, you know, like like a super long inspiring caption, those are great every once in a while, but don't do that every single day, because I've noticed people just don't engage with them as much, which it sucks, but like some people aren't going to read that whole long post. Sometimes you just have to like keep it interesting. Just a variation of posts to keep people interested. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here because teacher proms. I just want to say also that if you are afraid to share your story because either you have a good community on Instagram, you have people in real life that follow you, and you're like nervous to talk about this stuff, people aren't going to get mad at you. I promise. I thought that I would get so many negative messages, and honestly, I've gotten so many more positive messages since that time, since I've started being a coach, than I ever have in my life. And something that I try to tell myself is, if people are going to unfollow me for changing my life and making better choices for myself, then they're not the people that I want to hang out with anyways. Because if they're so negative that they can't even be happy for me, they don't have to join. But if they can't even be happy seeing me succeed, then, well, I don't really want you following me anyways. So just tell yourself, like, the people who matter will keep following you, and they will still support you. Even if they don't sign up with you, you're still inspiring people no matter what. So the second skill, like finding people. Okay, I am here to tell you that you can 100% grow your Instagram without doing anything except for sharing your story. Like, I'm dead serious. People ask me, how did you get so many followers? Guys, I did nothing. Nothing special. I didn't like go try to find people and follow people. Okay, now I do a little bit. I don't like search through hashtags. I don't do giveaways. I just say no. I don't do like looping things with people or ask people to shout me out. Literally, I just share my story every single day. I post on my Instagram, and I'm myself. And that's really how you're going to grow a following organically.
When you share your story and your posts and stuff, do you use hashtags or locations?
I do use hashtags, yes. So I hashtag like teacher, like military wife, stuff like that. I don't know if that's how people are finding me, really. I don't tag locations because I'm terrified of a student finding me.
Okay, so you're just using more like your niche of like teacher, hashtags, military. Do you find that you're like those are the people that are following you?
Yeah. So and like so most of my followers are teachers and like some wives. And the people who are signing up with me are mostly teachers or military wives. So
what would be like your big tip for somebody that is like just like you, like doesn't want to start, and maybe like what would be like your suggestion of like for them to find the hashtags that would be their niche if they had like a 5?
Okay, so I guess that makes sense because when I was starting out, I mean, I did have to find people to follow, but I would look at like popular teacher Instagram accounts and I would see what they're hashtagging, and I would like take some of those hashtags. So don't like make up hashtags all the time, because you have to see like what people are actually like hashtagging. Like, for example, a lot of teachers hashtag like teachers of Instagram, or like I teach fifth. That's like another common like hashtag. So you just have to find what your niche is hashtagging, and then you start using them as well. But don't just make them up, because chances are people aren't actually like looking at the ones that you just came up with.
Yeah, and I love that, because sometimes when you think about finding a hashtag, it's like you're overcomplicating it. Just look at somebody that you like and then see what they're using as like a normal hashtag that they would put. So
exactly. So really, honestly, just sharing your story, following like-minded people, of course, first, and engaging with them. So I used to never respond to messages because I would get too many and I'd be like, yeah. And I found like now I try to respond to every single message, even if it's just a like, haha, that was so funny. Like, I just say something back just to engage with that person. This is going to be super crucial, because especially if you're on your story every single day, people feel like they know you. Any one of you who is posting an Instagram story right now, someone out there is watching you and they are like obsessed with you and they love watching your story every day. They might not tell you that, but there's someone out there that's like, oh my gosh, like this Ashley girl, like she's so pretty and she's showing her mom, she's showing her friends. You guys all have that person that you are obsessed with. And so if that person like messaged me back when I commented on their story, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like they're talking to me. That's so cool. And especially then when you go for coaching, like once you reach out to them for the first time, it's not as awkward because they feel like they already know you. It's not just some random person messaging them. It's like, oh, it's Sydney. Like I've seen her stories before. Like she does this challenge thing and that's cool. So maybe I'll ask her some more information rather than just some random person on Instagram, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're actually watching people and then responding on their story.
Right. So I like have a lot of people that I talk to as well. So if anybody responds to my story, even if it's not about coaching or Beachbody or anything like that, I respond. And I do engage with other teachers as well. Like I have other teacher like Instagram friends. I know it's a little different because my account is was teacher based, but you just have to find other people and just engage with them and you're making friends. Like that's kind of the whole point of Instagram and this coaching community, right?
I love that because like you said, when somebody responds to you, like you're so excited.
Mm-hmm.
So that person would probably have that same feeling.
Exactly. And even if you don't feel like people watch your stories, they do, and they like you, or nobody would be watching, if that makes sense. And just kind of think about the people that you are wanting to attract. Like I said before, I was very negative person, and I was making very negative friends on Instagram. And now that I've kind of changed, I would say, I'm attracting a lot more positive people and just making real friendships. Whereas before it was just I never really talked to anyone back and forth very much. It was just a casual thing. But now I'm getting people's numbers, we text, we FaceTime. It's much more authentic now. All right, I've been talking a lot about Instagram, but
no, that's perfect.
Okay, so I will go on to how I have been inviting people to my groups. So what I have done and has been working for me is I will talk in my Instagram story. I don't just post a picture with words on it. Those are okay sometimes, I think, but I don't usually get as much engagement with that. So I say hey, it's Monday, it's a new week. If you're interested in getting signed up, here's my challenge group, or something just about my challenge group. And if you're ready, vote in the poll. And I'll give them 2 options. And usually I don't give them a no. It's a yes or a hell yes, or a yes or I need more details, just so then they're engaging. And they're not just saying no, because I've done that before and I was why are these people saying no? They're so blunt about it. I was kind of offended. But just give them that option, and when they vote in the poll, then I message them something like this. So I'm going to share my screen with you if I can figure this out. Oh gosh. Okay. So I message them this. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay. So I say hey, I just wanted to share a little bit about this challenge I'm doing with you, and I'm doing 80 day right now, so that's really what I'm targeting. It doesn't matter whatever you guys want to do. I give them a little bit of information about the workout. So I say every day there is a new 30 to 60 minute workout that you can stream from anywhere. You'll also be set up with a meal plan. Honestly, the best part is the accountability group. Every day I check in with my girls and share how my day went. Are you interested? I'm starting again on April 16th and would love to get you signed up. So the reason that I added I would love to get you signed up on April 16th is I'm done with my first round of 80 day and I'm going to do it again. So I've really been pushing hey, we can do this together. My day one is your day one and we're going to do this thing all together if you're interested. And I've gotten so many responses just because I'm starting it again and people have seen me do this for 80 days now that they want to do it. But not everybody is awesome enough to just be able to start on their own. They want a group of people, or they want their coach doing it at the same time. So I've really been pushing hey, I'm going to do this. Something that I say to follow up with, if they say, yeah, that sounds cool, you guys can screenshot this, or I don't know how you want me. I don't want to read all this to you because you know what it is. But I keep it super short because I used to send this huge long breakdown of pricing, and I wasn't getting a very good response back. Like, not very many people were responding. And I almost think it's because I kind of scared them away. Like, wow, that's a lot of information and that's like a lot of stuff. But I break it down, and then at the end I say, that's totally just an overview, but like I can break it down for you. And I get like barely anybody saying, yes, you need to break it down. But if they do, I do have a longer broken down message telling them what they could do, or telling them the breakdown of the prices. I only follow up with people who respond to the pricing email. And that might sound crazy. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing right now. But if I was following up with every single person that I ever messaged, it would be like ridiculous. So I'm only following up with people who actually respond to the pricing email. And I follow up with them whatever they say. Like if they need like a couple weeks or a couple days or something like that. And I just put it into a calendar, and I just put their Instagram name down, and then I check in with them a couple days later or whatever they need. Handling objections, I really just try to relate to them, especially with like pricing, because obviously in the beginning I like didn't want to sign up either, because I was like $180. I don't need to spend that. I can just do it by myself or something. So you just have to remember where you were when you actually started. Like, I'm sure none of us were like, yeah, $180, that sounds great. Like, let's sign up right now. Like, everybody was probably like, well, I don't know. Like, do I really need this? So you just have to sympathize. And there are people who, okay, so little side note here. I have started requiring to be in my challenge group, just the challenge group, to be on Home Direct of Shakeology or the Performance Line. And that might sound crazy, but what I was noticing was the girls who were quitting their Shakeology or who weren't doing it consistently, those are the ones that were giving me the most complaints about, this isn't working for me, I can't stay on track. And I really think that some people need to be held accountable with money. Like, if they're paying every month, they're probably going to, like, for me personally, if I'm paying something every month, I'm probably a lot more likely to do it than if I just was doing it for free. Keep in mind, my mom had a Beachbody account for 4 years now, and I've never once used it because it was free. Like, sometimes you just need that, like, thing holding you accountable. Now, if there's some, like, totally valid excuse, I'm not going to kick someone out of my challenge group, and it's not like they can't get the workouts, it's not like I'm not going to check in with them, they're just not in the challenge group, my monthly challenge group, and they can always join again later. So yes to the chats over there. Like, Shakeology is a tool to be successful. Every single program has Shakeology as a part of the meal plan, and it is important to be able, you know, it's important to incorporate that into it. I could care less about what I'm making off of it every month, but it's like, those are the girls that are causing me the most trouble, to be honest. Like, they're like, this isn't working, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, are you drinking your shake? And they're like, no. And I'm like, are you doing your workouts? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, there you go. Like, it's not the program, it's you not being accountable. So yeah,
you're same thing with like your coaches. If you have coaches, right? They're like working the business, like with their PD too. With their PD, like program. Yeah.
Sid, how do you like start that? So let's say you get somebody into your challenge group. So right from the get-go, you make it known that it is going to be mandatory for them to continue?
Yes. So I didn't start it that way. I do have girls in my challenge group right now, but what I'm starting to do is I'm going to roll over everybody into a new challenge group. I haven't done it like this yet, so I'm still kind of feeling it out. But all those girls who cancel their Shakeology, I'm going to message them and say, hey, are you interested in being in our next challenge group? Because you need to be on Shakeology. Or the Performance Line. Like, if you really hate Shakeology, that's fine. You can pick the Performance Line too. But I do have so from now on, anytime I'm inviting, I let them know, like, you're gonna have to pay the monthly price of the shakes in order to stay in the challenge group. And I say, yeah, you can still do it with me, and I'll still be your coach, and like you can still ask me questions, and I'll still support you. You just won't have the challenge group. Kind of lost my track.
Stronger coaches that way too.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by the chat. So I do send it in my email as well. So whenever I sign up a new challenger, I send them an email and I explain why that I'm making them be on Shakeology, because it's like the nutritional value, and because it's in all of the programs. So I just make that known from the get-go. And maybe you're not going to get as many people signing up with you, but the people that you are getting signed up with you are going to be stronger challengers, stronger coaches. Because people who don't drink their shakes, who aren't on the performance line, well, they're not going to become coaches anyways. And I've only had one person negatively react to that. And whatever, not my tribe anyways, so it's okay. But you do have to feel it out. Like, you know, Kate and me, like, people, not points. Like, obviously there's some situations, but most of the time it's not that people can't afford it. It's that they, like, don't want to afford it. And they want to make excuses and say, like, I can't pay for that. I can't do this. Well, but I see you at Old Navy, but I see you at Starbucks, like, things like that. They have to make a choice. If they want to be 100% committed, I'll be 100% committed to them as well. With all that being said, you better have a damn good challenge group if you're willing to tell people that you have to be able to do this, or you have to do this to stay in the challenge group. You want to have a, like, fun group that you're engaging in. So I do daily check-ins. I do daily challenges now, like, where people are, like, taking pictures, posting, and I try to respond to every single check-in. I try to respond to everything, because, like, letting them know that I'm there for them. They're not just posting for nobody to see it. Like, I'm seeing it and I'm engaging with them every single day. So I think that that makes it important as well. In your challenge group, so I think another thing to getting people to be enrolled, this kind of goes back to everything. And this was kind of going to be my main point. You need to be obsessed with what you were doing. I think the reason right now that I'm having so much success, like, even as a new coach, is I am literally obsessed with everything that I'm doing. It's not forced. I'm not coming on just to show you my workouts. Like, I love doing my workouts. I love the meal plan. I love my shakes. And that's going to show through your stories, through your posts every single day if you are truly obsessed. Everybody on here obviously was obsessed at one point, because you loved it enough that you wanted to share it with other people. So maybe right now you're not obsessed with what you're doing. Find that program that you love and start it on day one and do the whole freaking thing full out, because that's going to inspire people more than anything. People want to see you starting on day one. They want to see you going through everything. They want to see your struggles as well. You can't just share all the positives, but with that, you can't also complain every single day and share the negatives. Like, you can't be like, well, today I had a cheat meal and then I didn't do my workout. Like, that's fine for, like, maybe, like, one day, but people are going to notice if you continuously keep slacking off. But people want to see your progress as a coach as well. So, like, when I started, so I have recent progress pictures because I just started. People want to see that. Even if you have been a coach for, like, a couple years, it doesn't matter. Take a picture on day one and compare it to, like, your day 20. People still want to see your progress. They want to see that dramatic change if you had a huge change within the last few years. But then they also want to see that you're still, like, making progress. Nobody just wants a coach that is just fit all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't want you posting, like, the same old ab pictures every single day. Like, they need to see that you actually made progress even though you are already fit right now. So I think just kind of, like, think of yourself as a challenger and go through it with them. I'm really excited to be able to start 80 Day with a bunch of other girls and, like, actually do it together. I think that's just something cool that you can offer to your challengers. Like, pick a new program and tell everybody about it and say, let's all do this together. Like, let's all do 21 Day Fix if you aren't wanting to do 80 Day again, or something like that. Because so many girls have messaged me just since yesterday being like, oh my gosh, I really have been wanting to do this, but I just didn't want to do it alone. So it's really cool that they're going to see me storing about it every single day, and they're going to be on the same day as me. Okay. I don't know. What else should I talk about?
No, I love that. So like literally, I'm taking pages of notes, and the two things that I keep writing down that you keep saying is people want to see. Like people want to see you going through those things. That's why they're going to join you. So I wrote that down literally 10 times. And then the other one was remember where you came from. So like I love that you're like you're empathetic to like somebody that's kind of giving you objections, because sometimes we look at objections and we're like, oh well, that person just said no, or they're asking questions. Like you realize that those questions and those objections are just that person trying to figure it out, just like how you were trying to figure it out. So you're not afraid to kind of talk about those things. So so those are like, that's like you're giving a good experience, and it sounds like you're giving a good experience in your challenge groups because you're giving your experience and you're sharing those things. So how do you go from, and I know you're relatively new to this, but how have you gone from asking some of your challengers after giving them that good experience to now asking them to be a part of your team? Because that's kind of what attracted you to Kate, was that team aspect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have much advice on this because I really only have like 2 girls who actually like work the business, and like a couple more that are like, I don't know.
That's okay.
So,
we all start somewhere.
like they're like thinking about it, but they haven't really like jumped on board quite yet, which is okay. But actually like this week has been like kind of the week where I've been noticing my challengers like getting more interested. Like I've had a couple message me and saying like I'm really interested. So I think number 1, giving them a good experience. Number 2, reaching out to those people that you see are like rocking it and crushing it. Like I have girls sharing their workouts and doing everything that a coach would be doing just as a challenger. And I'm like, dude, like you're already doing what you need to be doing. Like you should definitely sign up and be a coach. And then I think just like sharing my experience as well. Like I don't talk a bunch about being a coach on Instagram just because I am relatively new, and but I do like share my experience. Like I talk about Kate a lot, and I talk about Michaela, and I talk about Ashley. Like those are some of the coaches that I'm close with. And I think that just shows them that like we have a community. Like I've been tagged in so many stories these last couple of days with me, Kate, Ashley, or me, Kate, sorry, Ashley, I still love you. Kate, me, and Michaela, because we're all teacher Instagram accounts. So a lot of that community knows us, and they like tag us together, like as if we're like this team now. And it's not like I ever went on one day and was like, Kate is my coach, and me and Michaela also coach underneath of her. It's like they figured it out because we just kept talking about it. Like we post a picture of our team calls, like we talk about each other, things like that. And it's really just sharing that like community.
Mm-hmm. That positive community of like your challenge group and your team, and that's what keeps you going. And it's not like you just are stopping now. And you, like a lot of people out there, they want that community, like you said. Right. Especially your niche is they're looking for that type of thing that's going to keep them going. And that's really where we come in as coaches, is us as this community that's giving this accountability, because that's one of the biggest things that's missing in a lot of people's fitness journeys, is that. So that's amazing. So do you have anything else? Would you mind answering some questions if people have? Okay, cool. So if you guys have any questions for Sydney, you can just type it.
Let me go through the chat right now. Is there any questions? Someone asked if I have a free group that I put people in who stop Shakeology. No, I don't. I haven't tried this yet though, guys, so just bear with me. Like I'm still going to keep in touch with them, and the next time that I make a challenge group, I'll still offer it to them. But as of right now, no, I just won't have them in the next challenge group. An email at the start. I can show you my email really fast if you guys want me to.
Yeah, or you can post it in like the Boom Fam or something like that.
Okay, I can just like scroll through it really fast.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, maybe not. I don't know where it is. Can you guys see my screen?
I don't know, but I like your background.
Oh, thank you. Can you see that, the email? Okay, yeah. So I guess this is something cool that I did want to talk about. I, instead of like typing out a bunch of stuff or trying to like Zoom call with all my challengers, because I don't have time for that, I made YouTube videos explaining. So I made a Zoom call of myself and I shared my screen and I said, here's where you're going to go to start 80-day obsession. And like, here's where everything is located at. And here's how you calculate all that kind of stuff. I walked them through it. And then I told them like what you can do while you're waiting for your package to arrive. Like, so there's no downtime or anything. They can get started right away if they want to. And then I made another video about the Facebook group and just like my workout playlist and adding me on Apple Watch, like workouts and stuff like that. So it's actually me talking to them and explaining everything they need to know and like saying like, here's how to add me on Facebook. This is what I say for the Shakeology. Keep in mind, it's required to be on monthly home direct of Shakeology or Performance Line in order to remain in the accountability group. You're still able to do the workouts without these supplements, but they are key to your success. If you do end up canceling your home direct order, I will still be your coach and support you from afar. But my time and energy will be spent on women who are committed to the program. And that sounds mean, but like, it's true. Like, I don't sugarcoat anything if you ever watched me or anything. But I feel like if you are not on Shakeology, if you are not on the Performance Line, then you're not 100% committed. Chat. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Sid, how early did you start the email from your very first challengers? I think that means like when I first started getting challengers. Yes.
Do you email this to them when they sign up with you as a challenger?
Right. So right when they like send me their confirmation email, I like get on my coach account or like coach office and find their email and then send it to them.
Cool. And I love those little like videos. And I know maybe you sat down and it took like maybe a couple hours or a day. But
honestly, no, it like took me like maybe 20 minutes to get it right.
Yeah. And so, but now it's like you have a very duplicatable thing that you can just send to people. So if anyone's, you know, I've had a couple of girls ask, like, you just share on your Zoom and you can save it to your computer and upload it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Pretty simple. You can actually YouTube how to do that. So I like that. I like that very simple, duplicatable.
Right.
Anyone else?
Any other questions?
Like you answered a lot of their questions. So I have a question for you. So what, just from starting in January and like seeing this opportunity and kind of what is like the most exciting thing looking into your future and
what's the, like what, I don't know.
like how has it helped you so far?
How has it helped me so far? Well, I mean, it's changed my life to be like, I think that sounds so cheesy. And I tell people all the time, it has changed my life. And I think that sounds cheesy, but it's so true. Like, it has given me friends that I know are going to be my friends forever. I know that it's going to be something that I can take with me forever. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be moving with my husband's job and things like that, but this is something that I can always take with me and it can't be taken away from me. Like, nobody can say like, you don't have a job or something like that. Like, I will always have this group of people that can follow me around literally anywhere because we can connect through the internet, which is so cool. And it's just given me something for myself because I was missing something in my life for so long and I didn't even know that it was missing. But now that I have this opportunity, that these workouts, this structure, like everything's just coming together. And I know that my life is just getting so much better because of what Beachbody has given me. And that's what I want to share with everybody else. Like, because I know that there's other teachers and other people out there just like me that don't even know that they're missing something quite yet. But once they like get it, you're never going to go back because it's just so life-changing. And I don't know. I'm rambling now.
You know, you literally just gave me chills because that is like the one thing about this opportunity is it can go with you anywhere you go. Anywhere you go. And for you,
right,
you're moving from here to there. You just never know where life is going to take you or what's going to happen. And this is something that nobody can ever take away from you. And it's something you can wake up every day and focusing on yourself. So
exactly.
Kind of chill I think Ashley just had a question. Oh yeah, there's like two more questions in there if you wanna.
What was I gonna say?
What is your biggest piece of advice for new coaches?
My biggest piece
Signed
of
up
advice.
today.
Oh, geez.
Congrats.
You're awesome. So start talking about it like right away. Like don't like overdo it, like I was saying, but like start sharing right away. Tell your Instagram people or tell your Facebook or whatever you're on, like, hey, I'm starting this new journey. Like take them along the ride with you. This is just kind of a side note that my squirrel brain just thought of. Don't always say Beachbody. Like, I don't know if that's like said to not say that, but like you want to keep your followers like interested. You don't want to be like, hello, I'm doing Beachbody 80-day obsession and I'm drinking my chocolate vegan Shakeology and my Energize. Like, no, because then a lot of times people just go and sign up and then they're like, well, now I signed up. And you're like, whoa, you just signed up on your own. Where you could have, signed up with me and like I could have been your coach and we could have done this together, whatever. You want to keep them guessing. Like I call my Energize, I started calling it my crack. Don't know where that started, but I've just consistently done it. And I've had like 15 people just buy the Energize. Like they don't want the workouts. They already have their own thing and they just bought the Energize from me because I talk about it every single day and I call it crack juice. So they're not just like Googling like Beachbody Energize. They're like, Sydney, what's your crack juice? Then I can like tell them about that. And then it's like a lead in like, hey, do you want to do these workouts too? Like, so just talk about it, but don't always like give everything away to everybody right away. You want to keep them like interested. You want to keep them wondering about like what you are doing. So then when you approach them or they approach you, then you guys have something to talk about.
Yeah, I love that. And then they'll send you a message.
Exactly. I don't know if there's any other questions.
I don't think so. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That was amazing. I know I took notes and tons of notes on my pages, and it's just nice to see like and hear like from the beginning to the start, like a new coach coming on, and how you were afraid and you jumped into it, and how it's kind of changed your life so far. So we are gonna give you a big shout out.
Real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just want to tell Sydney how proud I am of her because she was so nervous to do this and she freaking rocked it. And I'm just so proud of you for getting out of your comfort zone because you're just the best and that's it.
Yeah, I would have never done this like a couple months ago. I would have said, no, thank you. So thank you guys for listening.
Always push out of the comfort zone. We would never know that you were nervous at all. All right, everyone. All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to give a boom. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Boom.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Oh.